We've all missed out on so much during lockdown, but as restrictions are starting to lift, many of us aren't ready to go out just yet.
I'm just as wary as I have been. Logic tells me that the more people that are out there, the more people there could possibly have been exposed.
As COVID-19 restrictions ease around the country, for some people they've gone from having the fear of missing out to the fear of going out.
The key point for a lot of people is to remember to take small steps because it is a big change.
I certainly won't be going into the pubs or the clubs or the cafes for a long time.
After more than 10 weeks in lockdown and self-isolation, 65-year-old Jan Fox says she's a little stir-crazy, but is adamant she'll stay home.
My biggest fear is actually contracting the virus because for me, I don't know what the outcome would be.
Jan is considered vulnerable. She's a cancer survivor and has a suppressed immune system. Living alone, Jan says she is relying on delivery services and only ventures down her driveway a couple of times a week.
My chemist delivers and the groceries are delivered and mostly everything else I do online. Look, it's lovely when it's sunshiny and it's nice to get out and yeah, a trip to the letterbox is it.
A bit more riveting than usual.
Look, in the scheme of things, yes, it's something to look forward to.
Self-isolation for me means me and my doggie talk to each other a lot and I Skype my daughter.
Dr. Sally Coburn has been cooped up inside for 6 weeks. The GP has diabetes and reduced lung function.
For me personally, because of the consequences if I was to get COVID, I take it extremely serious and I hope everybody else does too.
She says despite restrictions easing, leaving her house for non-essential activities is simply not an option.
The only time it'll be absolutely operation normal would be for me, and this is my decision, when there's a vaccine. Other than that, I will be practicing social distancing.
It is a great time of uncertainty for a lot of people because going into restrictions was a change in itself. And generally, it's human nature to not deal well with change. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Dr. Jane Lee's a clinical psychotherapist.
I think coming out of the restrictions will be somewhat like sticking their toes in the water again.
She says it's best for people to take small steps.
I think it's important for people to realise that they don't suddenly have to throw themselves out into the deep end, that it is a gradual process and they can do it at their own pace.
As people slowly venture back outside, some services are struggling to maintain social distancing. Safe circles have been drawn in parks in New York. In contrast, it was standing room only for passengers packed into peak hour trains in South Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty crowded over there. They need more carriages.
It's been very bad, people like sardine altogether.
As restrictions are eased and people return to work, there are fears that offices may become the next hotspot for the virus, with increased chances for exposure and transmission.
A lot of people at the moment have fairly high anxiety levels because of this. And really that's why we've got to make sure that workplaces are safe.
Sally McManus is the secretary of the ACTU.
No one can afford a second wave of infections. Workers can't afford it, businesses can't afford it, the country can't afford it.
Exclusive polling from the ACTU shows workers are being left in the dark.
Less than 10% of workers across all categories say that things have changed or they know about changes in their workplace.
We've all got to be a little bit more cautious now.
While many people are worried, Ashley Burke says she is looking forward to getting back in the office. The mum of 3 wanting to return to some sense of normal.
It'll be a staggered approach and I would hope that I could have some flexibility in continuing to work from home as well as being in the office, which I think will be an option for many businesses out there.
Her eldest child, Charlie, is excited restrictions are easing.
I'm also really excited to see my friends and be able to see more than one because I miss them a lot.
The new normal, I guess we just have to go with the flow, slow and steady and follow what the powers to be say and how they guide us.
It's got to be an individual decision for everybody, how much exposure is okay for you.